Hey, my name is Gavin Robertson. Today I'm going to be teaching you chapter 2.3, the quotient rule. So our formula for this, we take it from f of x over g of x. So to find the quotient rule, we take the bottom, which is g of x, and we just place it right here, just doing nothing to it, and then we multiply it times the derivative of the top, which is f of x. So we get g of x times the derivative of f of x. And then we subtract, we take the top and we just put it over here and we leave it, and then we multiply it times the derivative of g of x, so we get minus f of x times the derivative of g of x. And then we take all of this and we put it over g of x squared. So a way that I was able to learn this, I got from my lovely calculus teacher, Miss Surles, is ho-de hi minus hi-de ho over ho-ho. Ho standing for the low, hi standing for the high, and the d is in front of whichever problem has to be derived, which in this case are the last two. So jumping into our examples, we have f of x equals 4 over 5x squared. So using our equation we take the bottom and we just leave it like we did up here. So 5x squared, and then we take the derivative of the top, which the derivative of 4 is just 0. So then we subtract, we leave the top, which is just 4, and then we take the derivative of the bottom, which is 10x. And then we put all of that over 5x squared, which is 25x to the fourth. So simplifying this, we see that this cancels out because it's just 0. So all we're left with is derivative of f of x equals negative 40x over 25x to the fourth. So looking to simplify this, we can take an x out of the top and we take an x from the bottom, leaving us with x to the third at the bottom. And then we can take 5 out of both of these numbers. So taking 5 out of 40 is just negative 8, and taking 5 out of 25 is just 5. So our answer is negative 8 over 5x to the third. Jumping into our second equation, or second example, we have a trig function. So going into the derivative, we have the derivative of f of x equals, we leave the bottom like we do, 1 minus cosine theta, and then we take the derivative of the top, which is just cosine theta. And we subtract, we leave the top, sine theta, and we take the derivative of the bottom. The derivative of 1 is just 0, and the derivative of cosine is negative sine. And the negatives will cancel out, so you're just left with a positive sine theta. And then all of this is over 1 minus cosine theta squared. Simplifying this, we multiply these two, so we get cosine theta minus cosine squared theta, and then we have minus sine squared theta, and we bring down the bottom, which is 1 minus cosine theta squared. So looking at this, we have a trig function, or a trig rule in here. We have the negative cosine squared minus sine squared theta, So if we make both these positive, we can make that equal to 1. So I'm going to take a negative out of this whole top part. So I'm going to get negative, and then negative cosine theta plus cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta. And that's all going to be over the same 1 minus cosine theta squared. So because we did this, we can make this equal to 1, and if we rearrange this, we can get derivative of f of x equals negative 1 minus cosine theta over 1 minus cosine theta squared. So looking at this, we can cross out this, and we can cross out 1 at the bottom. So all we're left with is negative 1 over 1 minus cosine theta, and that is our answer. Our third example is f of x is 6x minus 5 over x squared plus 1. So taking the derivative of this, we leave the bottom like always. We have x squared plus 1. And we take derivative of top, which is just 6. and then we subtract, leave the top, 6x minus 5, and then we take the derivative of the bottom, which is just 2x. And then we make it all over the bottom squared. So multiplying all these out, we get, multiply 6 to this, so we get 6x squared plus 6, and then minus, multiply the 2x times this, so we get minus 12x plus 10x, all over the bottom, which stays the same. So simplifying this, we get the derivative of f of x is, we leave the 6x squared because we can't do anything with that. And then we notice that minus 12x plus 10x, and we can get negative 2x, and then we leave the 6. So it's just plus 6. And then it's all over x squared plus 1 squared. And just to simplify this, we can take a 2 out of this whole thing at the top. So we can get 3x squared minus x plus 3 all over x squared plus 1 squared. And that is our answer. So to wrap it up, we have our formula. You take the bottom, make a g of x, just leave it, and multiply it times the derivative of the top, f of x. Then you subtract, leave the top, and you multiply it times the derivative of the bottom, and then you put it all over g of x squared. Done.